Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well today. It is Apex here with another market sector analysis. So, on Friday, we saw the broader market sectors by and large have some rather uneventful days, either brief pullbacks, brief uptrends. I believe XBI was one of the strongest sectors on Friday, while most of the other sectors just kind of hung out, and we can see that reflected in SPY's Friday close. Just a pretty nothing day overall. But this uneventfulness in the market sectors allowed for the explosion of a lot of individual names. Some that come to mind: JMIA, huge breakout on Friday. PLTR, similar idea, breaking over this sideways consolidation through two pivots. Very strong candle closing just about at the very high of the day. Increased bull volume. Apps was another one that I'm trading. We see the breakout on Wednesday, consolidation inside bar retest on Thursday, and then massive breakout on Friday, which, I mean, this doesn't get more textbook in terms of technical analysis. So, moral of the story: when the markets have boring days, the individual momentum names have massive days, and possibly vice versa. I am noticing a pattern where we have that inverse correlation. When markets hot, individual names, for the most part, at least the ones that I'm looking at, are quiet. And then when the market's quiet, these individual names explode. So we're seeing a very healthy rotation of money all the way around. So taking a look at SPY here, main level that the bulls need to break is 384.95, and the one that they need to defend is 373.70. Right now, it appears that we are forming a bull flag. Strong impulse move up, brief consolidation. So the bulls want to hold this upper pivot here to confirm that bull flag hypothesis, and then we'll see if we get continuation to the upside. RSI is looking fine. I mean, we're just creeping below 70, consistently cooling off. Very healthy look on the RSI. And bulls seem to be in full control. Any pullback from here, if we invalidate that bull flag, most likely the outcome is a higher low compared to 373.70. It's fun to say. So, like I said, bulls in SPY are in full control. No red flags at all. Still watching this channel for clues and directional confluence. So right now we're pulling back well before there. It looks like we could get to around 390 sometime in next week if we see continuation from here, which makes sense, coincides 390 psychological. But full steam ahead for the market bulls. The dollar, so more pullback last week. Shorts still piling in. The main pivot high that the bulls need to break is 90.9, and the low that they need to defend right now is 89.92. So we came close on Friday to hitting that. Formed a bit of an inside bar, so we're watching the high of 90.3 or the low 90.01 for directional confluence. QQQ inside bar today. Similar look to SPY, where we have impulse move up. Seems like we could be setting a bull flag here. So the main pivot high that the bulls need to break is 327.13, and the one that they want to defend is 310.58. Tons of room if they pull back from here to buy the dip, make a higher low, and continue this daily uptrend. So QQQ bulls, very healthy. RSI, notice, well below 70. IWM had a gap down, but the bulls bought the dip right away. So that they were only trying to defend this pivot low here of 208.26 and did so very well. Main pivot high that the bulls need to break is 215.98. So we're approaching that 220 psychological. Bulls still in full control. Again, very healthy look on the RSI, although it is overextended. Any consolidation will let this cool down a bit and give the bulls the best chance of more continuation to the upside. SMH, little pullback day today. but that is warranted considering, excuse me, considering how overextended we are. So the bulls need to break that 246.79, approaching that 250 psychological level. Right now, the first short-term pivot low I see is this triple bottom of 232.50. So the bulls have made enough room from that level where any pullback is likely to be bought back up. QQQs are still looking strong, market's still looking strong. So as long as tech doesn't see any negative news, excuse me again, negative news or negative reaction to earnings, then tech sector and SMH are in full control. Any pullback will help the RSI cool off as we are a little overextended. Possible divergence you can see here, but nothing crazy. So once we let that cool off a little bit, a little pullback or consolidation here, as long as the other market sectors are healthy and tech overall is strong, good earnings and whatnot, then we should see this dip be bought up, make a higher low compared to that 232.50, and hopefully see more continuation upside to the upside. TAN. So inside bar formed on Friday, looking for the high of 121.19 or the low of 117.50 for directional confluence going into next week. Main pivot high that the bulls need to break is 123.66, and the one they want to defend is 106.88. So bulls making fabulous work here. Good impulse move, brief pullback, good impulse move, brief pullback, retesting the previous high. So we'll look to see this uptrend continue going into next week. And I have strong conviction that the solar bulls will pull through. We can see this incredible bull volume at the lower part of the chart here. A lot of individual names are setting up again. RUN is looking exceptionally well. You can see I've already highlighted out all the volume, retesting a previous high, strong bull node that came in on that Thursday test inside bar Friday, looks ready to explode higher. So we'll look for the high of, just like we do with the market sector analysis, whenever we see an inside bar, we're looking for the higher low to break for directional confluence. So that high of 87.11 with the low of 83.13 will decide the short-term future, but I think this has enough room to get up to at least the all-time high, retest that $100 psychological level, and probably continue further. FSLR is another one that I'm watching, so we can see this pattern within a pattern type play. So we have this ascending triangle, breakout, fail, bought back up. Now we're consolidating again. Now these patterns are awesome to trade. When you see a failed breakout that gets bought back up into another consolidation phase, I can't think of any names directly off the top of my head right now, but I have seen these time and time before, and when they break out, they do so with authority. And then we partner that theory with the reality that solar is very bullish. We have good bull signal confluence with this massive volume node here. So continuation is likely. And so you can see that reflected in the solar sector here as we approach the all-time high. Bulls seem in full control, making beautiful uptrend pattern, higher lows and highs. So break that 123.66 level seems imminent. XLV stalling a little bit as we break out of this, what was a bull flag here. Impulse move up, flag pattern. This could be a good thing too. When you see, I call it the pause before continuation, when you see a little brief consolidation phase right after a breakout. But we do see that we have some diverging RSI peaks. Ultimately, the bulls need to break 118.69 to confirm this continuation higher, and we'll reach the 120 psychological and hit the mid 120s. Ultimately, they need to defend this 115.83 level. So they don't have a tremendous amount of room to work with. It's possible that we could see a break, a rollover and break of this pivot, retest some of these breakout areas here. But only time will tell. The bull volume looks incredible. So long as the broader market sector stays healthy and there's no negative news affecting this sector, I would assume that the bulls take the reins again, but again, only time will tell. And XLF, the weakest sector of them all, rolling over. So ultimately, the bulls need to break that 31.62 level. Since we broke this pivot here, of 30.49. Bulls need to defend the next closest level of 28.83. So they have tons of room to do it. We were kind of forming a bit of a bull flag here, bull pennant, but that failed. So ultimately, we just need to preserve the daily uptrend. We could count this as technically a loss of the uptrend, but this is such a small pivot here that I don't even really care to acknowledge that as a loss of the daily uptrend. We see the strong impulse move up. All we're looking for is a higher low compared to that 28.83 level, and then see continuation above the all-time high. This is the all-time high, right? I believe it's the all-time high. Nonetheless, we can look at the hourly chart just to gauge, and we see we're in a clear hourly downtrend, like strong impulse move to the downside, lower high, and roll over past the pivot low. So we have lost the daily uptrend. So looking for that hourly trend to change bullish in order to signify the daily bounce. Until then, personally, I would keep my hands off it. XBI had one of the stronger days in the market for sure. Gap down open, bulls bought the dip. Strong bull volume coming in last session. So bulls ultimately need to break this 156.67 level and defend. We'll call this pivot low here of 145.75 the one to watch. Strong move up, brief pullback, strong move up, brief pullback. Based off the volume pattern and this uptrend, I would assume that the bulls break that all-time high. Got to make sure these are all-time highs before I keep calling them. Break this all-time high into next week based off the technical pattern and everything here. RSI is nice and cooled off after being overextended for quite some time after the rally in November and December. So again, bulls in full control seems to be a predominant theme in the market sector overall. So again, always pay attention to the technical analysis, identify those key levels, identify those uptrends. You don't want to be listening to news and speculation because it is fear-mongering relentlessly. Talking about the coronavirus, talking about politics, it doesn't matter. Trade the chart. So I hope you all had a great weekend, enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you tomorrow.